Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the IESF 2019 Dota 2 Sri Lankan qualifier grand final matches between PnX.Lanka Lions and x3.Origin and Unknowns. I'll be your caster for today. My name is Azman, and joining me is going to be Abdul. Hi, Abdul.
Hello, Azman.
So far, games one-on-one. It's a best of three. So PnX.Lanka Lions managed to get game number one, unfortunately, through a walkover.
Yeah.
And now x3.Origin Unknowns pulled out their trump card with that strategy that we saw in the previous game, and they managed to win out their first game as well. So what do you think is going to happen for game number 3, Abdul?
I think Visage is gone. Visage Underlord are gone. Maybe only Underlord is gone. And that leaves Visage in the pool. But I don't think they're going to give Visage. Maybe they can deal with Visage, but that's one of AG's better heroes. I think it's the best hero.
Yeah, he's best hero.
So I don't know if they know that, but if they do, they probably remove that as well. Maybe
he does have a few other heroes that I've seen him play in his pool, but it's going to be interesting to see what they actually pick up and what synergizes really well with the picks that they have, and what kind of strategy they want to go for. Because so far it seems like X3 throughout the whole tournament, they've been very organized. They've had a plan throughout every single game. They've hit their timings. Otherwise, obviously, they won't be able to make it this far.
I mean, they did the same draft.
Yeah, definitely. They pulled off the same draft, which just comes down to, surprisingly, Lanka Lions not doing their homework.
Yeah.
In terms of,
literally, they're not watching the last
game. Just the last game. I mean, obviously, the same thing happened to someone I know's team in 20 minutes. But with that, we do have the draft ready, so we'll be seeing it on screen very shortly. And with that, looks like x3.Origin Unknowns have banned out Earthshaker, and Lanka Lions, as you have said, first banned straight up Underlord.
Yeah, Underlord's gone. Shaker being banned out just because maybe they have some sort of what I was thinking was, even though Underlord is gone, they might still go with something like Nature's Prophet push strat with the Vengeful Spirit, Venomancer thing. I think I've seen them do something like that before. Maybe they don't really need the Underlord, but Underlord was a really, really core part of the draft, so not too sure if they're planning to do the same thing again, but this Earthshaker ban looks to be something that they just don't want to deal with, because you usually don't ban Earthshaker all the time as a first ban.
Yeah, I think it's just something that PnX, I think 100% you knowing Mandula, I think he has done his research on Lanka Lions, probably gone through every single game that they played throughout the tournament as well. So I think even in the game against VS, that Earthshaker was a very crucial pick. There was a lot of lockdown because of it, and a lot of mobility with that Aghanim Scepter, so he's very annoying. He was setting up a lot of opportunities for Paradox to just get in and start doing a lot of damage with his Templar Assassin, so that was something that we saw. And then obviously he's more comfortable on that hero, it feels like, and he's being able to perform. Like the Sand King also, he plays really well, but I feel like he plays the Earthshaker at a much higher level than he plays the Sand King. But the Sand King obviously being taken out, and so is the Lina.
There's going to be a Wind Ranger pick maybe here for Nigel.
Yeah.
For Muffin, I guess. For Arjun, they have the slot to pick it, but I don't think they will pick it immediately. Maybe they can let it in a little bit, because seems like Lanka Lions don't know exactly. They did ban the Night Stalker
as well, and the Night Stalker.
The Night Stalker from Muffin. So Muffin doesn't have the biggest hero pool in the offlane, but the centaur is still there in the pool, and we see the Abaddon being picked up by Origin Unknown. That might be an offlane Abaddon, actually.
Yeah, I mean, even in the previous game, they banned out the Abaddon, and I felt like it was targeted towards someone, so now we actually get to see it, and usually I've seen Origin Unknowns run it a few times, but as a position 5 more than a position than a offlaner. Yeah. So it'll be very interesting to see how they kind of turn out this game, and obviously they're going for a different strat. Centaur Warren have been picked up by Lanka Lions to deny it to the side of Origin Unknown, and picking up with a Grimstroke this time.
Yeah, and I think they might put the new player in the team, Bora, to the offlane here, and make Nigel carry. They might just change that up a little bit here. And even AG, I don't know too many of his heroes other than Visage, so I don't really know what lane he is going to fit into, but I think Nigel's hero pool has dwindled quite a bit just because of these bans here, because he is an Earthshaker player as well, and it's like 4 of his heroes are just out.
Yeah, definitely, and unless they pick him in Ursa, which you saw. I mean, he likes those aggressive kind of in-your-face kind of heroes. That's the kind of his play style that he usually does run. Yep. Even in the last game, as Centaur Warren, we saw him. He just wanted to go, just keep going on. And with that, they're going to pick up a Tusk, which is very interesting. So looks like so far we do have Wyvern still open for Hockey if he wants to pick it up. We still have Oracle open for Origin Unknowns if they want to pick that up as well. Yeah, so even Lanka Lions can always pick up the Oracle as well, just to get some of that save. TA being taken out this time by Origin Unknowns, so we might be in for a very interesting pick. So this time they don't really have the Visage. So because of that, we might see something different. We might see the Storm Spirit being coming out. We might see the Venomancer coming out. Kind of very few options that they do have. But we'll have to wait and see, obviously, until the draft is kind of rounded out. But
this Tusk hero is one of the position for his better heroes. He plays Tusk all the time, and he's pretty good at it. So they have one of their better picks as well. See Grimstroke being picked up, there we go, Wind Ranger banned out. So now Nigel really doesn't have a hero pool.
Very unfortunate.
Making sure to remove every single hero from Nigel, and AG's hero is gone as well. So it's going to be a little tough for Origin Unknown to draft right now, but they do have their position 4 hero, which can make a lot of plays if he plays it well. And this Grimstroke also being nerfed quite a bit. Right now they don't have too much synergy other than Double Edge. So it's going to be, this Grimstroke is going to be a little bit crucial. They want to win this lane. It's a very strong lane, the Grimstroke Centaur. But since they know the lane, they can always pick against it and make sure they try and either pick a hero that can catch up or a tri-lane that can contest this.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll be very interesting to see. I think Spades plays the Centaur Warrunner pretty well as well since the Centaur Kotl days. So that was quite a long time ago. So they have that synergy as well. So with that, Winter Wyvern being banned out by Origin Unknowns, Drone Range actually being so Lanka Lions actually banning out.
They just don't want to get cheese again.
Yeah, they don't want to get cheese, obviously,
And this Abaddon strat, basically what Mandala wanted to do, I guess, was hit the tower, Abaddon offlane, very strong when you attack towers because of his third Curse of Avernus. And with any 2 ranged heroes, it kind of destroy the tower very quickly. I think Venge is part of this draft, but so is Drow.
Yeah.
And this Drow being banned out kind of hurts a bit, but Origin can always switch it up to an Abaddon position 5, so that's the versatility of this draft, of the way he's drafted right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't really say where they're going to lane right now. I mean, we are estimating that it's going to be an offlane Abaddon, but it always could be a position 4 or position 5, but probably going to be a position 5 or an offlane because they have picked up the Tusk. So that much information at least we do have, but like you said, anything can happen in Dota, and that's the beauty of the game. And depending on how they want to, put the matchups, also it can change. So it could even be, we could even see the Abaddon going into the mid lane depending on the matchup. But PnX.Lanka Lions picking up a Lion. So Lanka Lions picking up the Lion. Sorry, I had to do it. So Lion being picked up, a lot of disable, a lot of burst damage that they have, so they can always kind of synergize with the Grimstroke. So there's the synergy. So we have the double finger, double hex, double. Is it double impact work?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So for now we'll just go with double hex and double finger, and if double hex works, then we'll say double hex works.
No, double hex works for sure. Double stun does work for sure.
Yeah. Sorry, double stun, not double hex. Sorry, my bad.
I think this Wyvern ban was what tipped them off to the Drow ban. So Origin Unknown might be in a little bit of trouble, but I don't know. Because even the there we go,
Beastmaster.
So it is a push strat.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be
a push strat. And Venge is going to be picked up most probably, I guess. But I don't know if anyone really plays the Venge. I think AJ plays Venge. So we might be able to see another push strat coming out. But Lanka Lions do have a lot of disable this time, and it really helps to have disable against heroes like Tusk because he rolls in and
true, definitely. It's always good to always try to avoid something. And with
there we go, the Phantom Lance are being picked up. So this is a problem for the Beastmaster because they can always kill the boar and he can always not die in the lane most of the time. And with this Lion backing up, he's gonna be fine. And they can even keep the Centaur alone after like 5 minutes for sure, and just try lane and make sure this PL gets 2 Wraith Bands, Power Treads, Wand, and then he just jungles for the rest of the time. And we see Gyro being picked up. Gyro very, very good with this strat. He just needs to get drums and Aghanim Scepter, maybe with a Maelstrom, and he's going to be good to go with the BKB. PL won't be able to contest it that fast, I feel like, if the Gyro's lane goes well.
Yeah, I think it will all come down to whether the Gyro's lane kind of goes really well, because if he can pick up those drums and the Aghanim, it really kind of boosts up his farming speed quite a bit, and then he picks up a Maelstrom BKB on top of that, and he can obviously, Gyrocopter being one of those heroes that can always contribute even in the early stage of the game to kind of ramp up his farm as well. Just use that, call down in with the rocket barrage as well as the rocket itself. Flak cannon obviously does a decent amount of damage as well, but the question is, will we see the Morphling to kind of use the Gyro against him? Usually we do see that, but in this scenario I don't think.
It's a good morph game.
Yeah, it's actually a decent morph game.
It's a really good morph game just because they don't have disables on Origin Unknown. They have the Roar, but Roar, it's not really a
and I think with a player like Paradox playing it, by the time you blink in and cast the Roar, he'll probably have time to...
Anyone who plays Morphling can just
hit the key.
Yeah, hit the key. Like anyone, it's very easy. Pugna being banned out, good ban coming out from Lanka Lions. But Venge is still in the pool, and Venge is really good with Beastmaster. And we see an OD being banned out, so that might not be a Venge in the end.
Yeah, probably not going to be a win. So right now they have their safe laner, they have their off laner in the Beastmaster, so we're probably seeing a position 5 Abaddon with a position 4 Tusk.
It could be a mid guy.
Yeah, and it's going to be a Necroforce last pick.
Yeah, so Necroforce is really good against Centaur. Make sure he doesn't apply too much of a threat in the early game. As soon as Necroforce hits 6, if Centaur tries to be too aggressive, he just immediately gets shut down. It's one of AG's better heroes, Necroforce. He plays that hero a lot. I think that's his second best hero after Visage. And Gyrocopter is Mitsuki's best hero. I don't know if Mitsuki is playing in this game though. I think he might be standing in. I'm not too sure if he's in the game or not. I think he's not.
You'll have to wait and find out, obviously.
But
and
with
with
Nigel also plays
yeah,
the
so it looks like they
hero,
picked up the Queen of Pain on Paradox,
That's
so Paradox
really
Queen
good
of Pain.
against, Necro.
Yeah, so Paradox Queen of Pain, obviously nothing to laugh at for sure. It's something that's super strong, and he knows how to play the the hero quite well. So it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, now given the 2 drafts that we have right now, Abdul, who are you favoring?
Right now, I'm actually kind of favoring Origin Unknown's draft because they have a good. The Abaddon is just what I don't really. I don't know too much if that's going to help a lot because position 5 Abaddon, if they pressure the Gyro quite a bit with the Centaur Grimstroke, I don't know if the Abaddon is going to be enough to stop that because there are 2 stuns in the lane. There's the Grimstroke stun as well as the Centaur stun. If the Abaddon misses his shield and only purges 1 stun off, it might just be a problem and he might just die.
Yeah, that's
Gyro
true.
is very easy to kill early game, especially if you have the lockdown for it. And this lane is pretty scary. And if they try lane, they might give Gyro good lane, but then that's going to make the Centaur suffer. And Centaur is already kind of countered by
The Beastmaster. Yeah, true. That's true. Sorry, sorry, you're right. The Centaur will suffer. Obviously, they'll probably try lane, and the Beastmaster also would have a very difficult time. But the Beastmaster at least will have a much better time jungling than the Centaur would. In terms of, if you look at the trade-off, because Centaur does have that retaliate, usually you want to pick that up at level 1, but that, kind of returns damage as you take damage, but Beastmaster can always have the bow kind of kite the, jungle creeps and start right-clicking as well, because he has a decent amount of movement speed as well. So that's an option that they have, but in terms of how things would turn out if there is a tri lane and you can't even get into the lane, but then we might see more pressure being put in the mid lane because we know that the offlaners are in the jungle. We might see the supports rotate into their jungle, maybe even after killing off the offlaner, we might see them go into the mid lane. So depending on how the laning stage kind of goes and how they want to play the lanes, it's going to be looks quite even actually in terms of how things have gone. But
the
obviously,
problem is that they can't really fight the quap. They don't have much lockdown for this quap.
Yeah, so if they don't get the raw, it's
yeah,
going to be quite tough.
gonna
Unless the Queen of Pain blinks in like aggressively.
Even if she blinks in aggressively, if she has BKB like other than roar, they have literally nothing. And if she just gets lengthens this game, I don't even think she needs to get BKB. No, she doesn't. Just because of the Gyrocopter out and the Rocket Barrage. But I think everything depends on how Paradox's lane goes. If Paradox has a decent lane, they can pressure this Gyrocopter to the point where he won't be able to farm whatsoever.
So already you can see the Centaur just building up a few of these retaliate stacks to kind of start dominating the lane, taking a decent amount of damage here, but he's immediately going to just back
this
off.
should have been contested.
Yes.
Just because they have Tusk and an Abaddon. Like, make
Oh, looks
sure
like they're trying to go now, but the Abaddon is
it's
just
too late,
rotating a
it's
bit
way
too
late.
late.
Like they should have done this. They should have known this would happen. Like most of the people do it. It's very common.
Yeah, it's very
and,
common.
You have a Tusk in the game where you can shard block. You can always contest that. Make sure he takes too much damage or even kill him. It's very, very important that you do that. And now they might be in a bit of trouble.
Oh, they might be in a bit of trouble here. They're going in, the retaliate being used as well. Look at the Gyrocopter getting chunked down right now by the Centaur. Gets a stun off with that Inkswell as well. Trying to run it on the Gyrocopter using their Rocket Barrage as well. But he actually falls quite low, but the Gyrocopter is okay.
By the line and the Grimstroke there.
Yeah, it looked like. But they do manage to get 2 for 2 in terms of bounty runes. Centaur obviously having a decent amount of regen, and the Abaddon can always just kind of keep healing you and then just die and then deny himself and go back to
like that
base.
was a bad trade for Lanka Lions a little bit, just because that the Abaddon's there to heal the Gyrocopter and they won't use too much regen, and the Centaur does have to use regen.
Really good block coming out for Lanka Lions actually. So I think both players just kind of missing a little bit of their block, but this is always going to favor the Queen of Pain because she is on the high ground once again. You can already see the
Necro won't be able to lane
yeah.
after this block. It's very difficult. It's such a bad start for Necro. Now Cop is just going to dominate this lane for the first 3 levels for sure, and it's going to be hard for the Necro will come back after he gets 3 levels in his first skill, but for now Toad Boss should be able to dominate this lane, and it is Toad Boss on the Cop.
Yeah, so it's going to be Paradox on the PL.
Yeah, which makes sense because that hero you can I think you can do a lot of outplaying, and Mirsab is by far the best person on that team, and PL can do quite a bit.
So I like the Necroforce kind of forcing. Meanwhile in top lane looks like the rotation in from the Grimstroke along with the PL actually managing to bring down the Tusk there. Very interesting. So unfortunately we missed it. But with that bot lane also right now Midnight sitting quite low. The Lion and the Centaur seem like they do want to pressure quite a bit. Looks like they're going for the Abaddon, running straight past. What? He might actually just go down here for this. He needs to try to get a deny play here, but I don't think it's going to work. Looks like they don't really want to commit into killing the Abaddon here. They want him to stay here so he's not able to use any more miscoils, just try to get him to waste a little bit of time. But with that, Gyrocopter doing a decent time, so it is going to be Muffin. It's going to be Muffin on the Gyrocopter. So looks like they actually want to make a play onto the Lion. Lion actually getting isolated. The Rocket is there as well. Miscoil coming in. Few more right clicks should be enough, but the Rocket barrage is there. Do they have the stun from the center one? Yes, they do. Oh, what a shield! Just getting level 2 on the Abaddon, using that and getting that proc from the double edge to get the Lion kill as well. So 1 for 1 right there. So both the safe lanes seem to be doing okay right now in terms of how things are going. So looking at last hits, PL is currently at 9, Centaur is at 9, and Queen of Pain is at 7. So PnX.Lanka Lions currently on the board. Nice deny there.
Yeah. Just Trot Boss not doing as well as we thought he would. I thought after that good block he would do quite well, but he didn't get as many designs as I thought. He got only 4. I thought he would get around 6, but he's gonna be. I thought he'd outlevel him by at least 1 level, but it didn't happen.
So Tusk just being very cheeky there, stealing one of the jungle creeps from the PL once again, just using that mana drain as well as the Earth Spike there onto the Gyrocopter, making sure he doesn't have too much mana to play with. He does have a decent amount of regen to work with, so he does have the 2 branches as well if he wants to, but with that looks like the side of the Dire team has managed to pull. They're going to be able to secure a few of these assets, try to connect onto the Tusk as well. Snowball comes in. Does he have the tag team if he wants? He does have it if he wants to use it, but Beastmaster now coming in to contest the pull as well. But PL so far sitting very happily, 15 CS, 3 denies, and he's not being pressured at all by these by the duo in the top lane, and they actually managed to get a kill onto the PL as well. Actually it was the Grimstroke who got the kill, but with that the Abaddon needs to be a little bit careful here. The Lion is in the area, but Centaur is quite far. Looks like they might want to make a play onto the Gyro. Gyro moving forward a little bit aggressively, but with that looks like Necrophos and Queen of Pain is going to start trading. Is he going to blink forward? He does have an Arcane Rune available. He does, and oh, just out of range there. Did have the Arcane Rune, wanted to commit, but Abaddon actually gets taken down there, trying to commit onto the Lion there, but not being able to, and with that losing out on a lot of mana here. They should be able to drop items on the Gyro and get the Abaddon to kind of bring it, and once again going on to the Beastmaster. The Beastmaster not going to be able to make it out alive. Pops the wand as well. One more right click should be enough. The tag team is there, but the PL should go down in return. Yes, it does. The PL does go down, and that's 447 gold going the way of the Tusk, so he's going to be happy with that. But end of the day, the Beastmaster did go down. Nice deny once again from the Necrophos here, doing a really good job against Toad Boss, and he actually gets a double kill on the Tusk here in the top lane. So really good play coming out from him, bringing down the Grimstroke as well. I think just getting shard blocked there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, shard block. He's really good on his Tusk, so he should be a little bit careful in playing against him as well. So just Tusk going down, Tusk getting a double kill makes that lane a lot easier for them to contest after this. Oh, and mid lane.
Oh, mid lane. Necrophos falling very low. He does have the poison on him, but he should be perfect.
One more tick and he would have died.
Yeah, so with that, once again, they're moving into the top lane. Once again, here comes the Eastwell, should be enough, and yes, it is. He's actually going to get taken down, and now the Beastmaster in a very bad position. He does have the double bow, trying to micro it to attack the PL, but he's not going to be able to. Huge wave actually coming out onto them, and with that, popping the mango, buying a few items, and should be pushing out the lane here, trying to get a pull done. And with that, looks like Abaddon moving in aggressively onto the Lion here. Hawkey moving back with his Lion right now, trying to bait the Abaddon into a bad situation, but with that, he's actually going to move back once again. The Tusk once again is back. That tag team being used, and this time stun coming out onto the Abaddon, pops the shield as well. I don't think they're going to be able to get that kill. And yeah, they do get the runes, and that is going to be 4 for nothing in terms of runes, because no one is really going. Tusk is rotating now, but they actually don't get the one on the Radiant side. So Tusk going in, trying to get a kill. He does not have tag team because he used it on the PL to kind of zone him out. He does have the shard. He's going to be able to block him out, and once again here comes the Inkswell, but no vision with to snowball in. Is he going to go in is a question. The creep wave is there, and once again going in very aggressively, but he might actually go down here. He needs to be very careful. He does not have one more Inkswell. He does have a snowball available. Once again double ganger coming in. He gets a snowball off onto the creep wave, and he should be able to get out from there. There's Spirit Lance almost coming in, but losing vision there. And meanwhile in the mid lane, the co-op actually jumping in onto the Necrophos. Meanwhile in the bot lane as well, they're actually fighting the Necrophos now, getting chased by the Queen of Pain, but they're not going to commit. Meanwhile in the bot lane, the Abaddon actually goes down, and now need to be careful. Gyrocopter moving forward, but the Lion blocking him. He does have the flak cannon. It's going down. Does he have mana right now? He pops the wand as well. He does have that flak cannon were going to work once again. One more right click should be enough to bring down the line. It does, and now the centaur coming in with the retaliate stack. Once again, Necroforce just being able to survive, but the creep wave comes. The double edge actually, and double kill going the way of the gyrocopter. Managing to get that, secure those 2 kills. Very, very much worth in that bot lane.
Yeah, very good. I thought the Muffin would have gone down. That would have been pretty bad for them, but he does do a good job and gets a little bit out of range of the centaur stun. Centaur stun just taking a little bit too long to go off, but Paradox is having a really good time compared to the gyrocopter. Only 17 last hits on the gyrocopter. So even though he's getting kills, he's not getting the last hits that he needs right now.
So once again, here's the replay. We saw the rocket barrage, the rocket also coming and kind of connecting, one last right click connecting and killing him, and here we thought it was very close. The stun was there, but he actually goes to the double edge. He takes some damage, and unfortunately there he actually gets a few hits from that rocket barrage, even with a full creep wave there, and actually gets taken down.
Just to walk next to him until he got stunned and then stunned.
Yeah, meanwhile in the top lane, looks again, once again they're diving onto the Beastmaster. They're having a very difficult time on the top lane, silence onto, but meanwhile the PL might be in a little bit of trouble. The tag team is there as well, and he gets taken down. A little bit of over-aggression coming in from the PL. Meanwhile in the bot lane, they're actually diving this gyrocopter. Gyrocopter, one more last hit, but he actually managed to get denied by the Abaddon. He actually gets denied by the Abaddon, and once again here comes the rotation from the Tusk. Can he save him? Can he do anything? They actually do lose the Abaddon in the end, but what a deny coming out from the Abaddon onto the gyrocopter. Not giving away anything. Heads up play. But they do manage to get the PL in the top lane as well, just throwing a little bit, giving away a little bit of more gold. But now once again he might be in a little bit of trouble. Beastmaster level 5 right now does not have...
Yeah. Okay. And the Necroforce got a lot of space for that. Pop's going mid again, just doing a little bit down. But Necroforce is going to be fine after this. After that rotation, no mana on Toad Boss. And Toad Boss, I mean, they're basically sharing farm now. I mean, those denies early game from the Necroforce actually helped quite a bit. And he got kind of ahead with that.
Yeah, definitely. He does have a decent amount of sustain as well. He has opted to go for 3 levels in Heartbreak Aura and 2 levels in Death Pulse. So he does have a decent amount of sustain. He has the magic wand as well, but with that Toad Boss, you know, that rotation kind of did give him 1 kill. Unfortunately, if he had gotten the gyrocopter kill, it would have been really, really worth it for him. Yeah. But unfortunately, actually not unfortunately, but fortunately. Oh, he actually gets the Reaper side solo kill? Excuse me. What a play coming out from YOLO, boys. YOLO indeed managing to bring down Toad Boss, and he's dead for a very, very long time. And 426 gold going the way of the Necroforce. And this is not the start that PnX.Lanka Lions wanted.
Yeah, this is not the start. And they're doing a really good job on Origin, on maybe capitalizing on all the mistakes that Lanka Lions are doing right now. But Muffin, he is going to have a little bit of trouble going into the late game because this PL is getting pretty farmed. And if he does get a Diffusal Blade early and Gyro doesn't have like drums plus like drums at least, you know, he can just easily kill him if they do manage to, if like Gyro wants to play aggressive, so they want to get towers and whatnot. And
mid lane we might actually see the Necroforce going down here. He's going to start running, but he doesn't have anything right now. He gets silenced up as well, and here comes the stun, here comes the Inkswell as well. One more right click should be enough. They're going to give the kill over the way of the Queen of Pain, and meanwhile PL getting dived in the top lane, does have a double ganger. He's falling very low. They find the real one. He actually gets taken down. Raw also being used with that with the wild access there, but the rotation coming in from In Search of Juliet just a little bit too late and not being able to really save the PL, and he goes down once again, and this time he might give an opportunity. And meanwhile Toad Boss now trying to go on at midnight, but he does have that aphotic shield, so really not much that the Queen of Pain can really do after that. He does have the Sonic Wave, but he's not going to get that solo kill. But Gyrocopter getting a lot of much needed space because he can easily bully out the center around, and it seems that what he is doing is what exactly that right there. And with that, now the Necroforce moving in very aggressively once again, just trading in with the Queen of Pain, using those Death Pulses, trying to get in once again, just popping it up, and once again right click's coming out. He does have Sonic Wave, he's going to use it immediately. He does have 1 charges to play with. He's waiting for the Queen of Pain to commit. He's waiting on the high ground, waiting for him to come here. Is he going to blink in? He does have another one. He actually pops the pops the wand as well, and now starts turning and starting beating into this Queen of Pain, baiting him, getting a few denies and healing. And now meanwhile in the top lane, the Rust being is getting chased down by the PL. PL double ganger is there, might be able to get a double kill. He does not know which one is the actual one. Pops the wand as well. Paradox trying to chase this Beastmaster. 1 more right click should be enough, and he actually gets a double kill as well. And now the runes coming up. Nice stun onto 1, only the Abaddon right there, and he's going to use a Scampy to try and get out. Does he have a rocket barrage available? He's going to pop the wand. He's going to TP back all the way to base, losing out on all 4 of those bounty runes, and very, very unfortunate now. Even Paradox getting chased down by this the Necroforce as well. Tusk is there. He's going to get the Walrus punch off, get the kill onto Paradox. Just overstaying his welcome a little bit, but they do manage to get 4 bounty runes. But PL once again going down, another 460 gold going the way of the Tusk.
Yeah, and we see a lot of voice lines being used. Very fun.
Yeah, so the voice lines are always fun in Dota 2, so it's going to be very interesting. But
okay.
are you okay? What are you doing?
And the top lane push might be T1 tower right now, coming for Origin unknown.
So with that, looks like Gyrocopter has actually caught up to PL in terms of CS as well, sitting at 44. The PL is still dead. So the Gyrocopter has done a pretty good job coming back, and he has 16 denies on top of that as well. Beastmaster also with 42 last hits, even though he has gone down a decent amount in this top lane. He should be done with his Vlads quite soon actually. He's actually just about 600 gold, maybe 300 to 600 gold away from it. And with that, looks like this trying to bully out the...
there might be a Gyrocopter might fall down this bot lane here.
Yeah, there's a lot of heroes running this way. There's actually both the supports, they're smoked up as well, trying to go onto the Gyrocopter. But Midnight is available. Here comes the stunned finger as well, but immediately going to get silenced, but he can't get the shield off. He can't get the shield off. He needs one more. He needs to break the silence. He's not going to be able to, and immediately double kill going the way of In Search of Juliet on his Grimstroke. They are very unfortunate that the ultimate actually latched on there. He couldn't get the Photic shield off onto the Gyrocopter to save him. So unfortunate, but I think while he used the Earth Spike, he actually did use the Photic shield.
Because I think that he wouldn't have used the Grimstroke ulti if he didn't know someone else was there. So I think
Yeah,
they just predicted that the Abdon was there and they used it. So a good play coming out from Sri Lanka.
Yeah, definitely, and then just limiting the movement from both of them. And now Indomitus looks like Toad Boss is going to be farming up a little bit of stack. He does have the clarity going. He does have the shrine. Now we see the mighty Roshan just towering up everything, and just in terms of net worth, everything is pretty much even. Just a 1k lead towards Lanka Lions, and this is not how we expected most of these games to go. Usually it's very one-sided, but in this game it's actually quite even. In terms of EXP, it's a little bit on Lanka Lions' favor, but we'll have to wait and see on terms of execution. Once again, Paradox just being able to outplay the 2 players in the top lane, actually the 4 players in the top lane, and with that Centaurana just beating down in the tower here, trying to cut the creep wave and immediately cancelled. Necroforce actually cancelled. Yeah. So looks like they might want to stay and just kind of group up and start pushing out the T2 tower with this Beastmaster's aura as well as the Gyrocopter. Has he picked up anything significant? He does have the Vlads on the Beastmaster. How is Gyro's farm right now? We'll have to wait and see to see.
Beastmaster actually goes back here to defend the tower.
No, so Beastmaster went into the mid lane.
Yeah,
so looks like they might be trading a T1 for a T2, but do they have the damage to really bring down this T2? I don't think so. I think we might see PnX.Lanka Lions just kind of come and just try to like pressure this a little bit. But meanwhile, Beastmaster in the mid lane, we do have the Queen of Pain waiting for a rotation, but he's actually farming in the jungle.
Yeah, I think the call is just to chill because PL is going to be pretty strong if he does get farmed in this game, and they don't really mind too much about this. But it might come to bite them if they do make a few mistakes coming in the next few fights here. Gyrocopter's, Necroforce is not super fun, but he has the hood right now, and it is a decent hood game. It's not the... I mean, he won't be able to do too much other than ulti right now. That's the sad part about Necroforce. He's going to tank a lot of the damage, but if he doesn't get if he dies before his ult, I don't think he can do too much other than ult right now. And I think Tusk is going to do quite a bit. So if they do manage to get the Tusk on the lead with the Grimstroke, I think they probably will win the fight on Lanka Lions.
So Pink's coming out in the mid lane. They probably know that most of the heroes were smoked at some point, and now Snowball coming in onto the line. He's taking so much damage with that Walrus punch. Just needs one more right click. Can he get it? No, he can't. The Lion is actually running. He does have a rocket on him, and that should be enough to bring him down. Unless the Lion does have a few one charges. They're chasing. They're going to give the kill over to the Gyrocopter. 260 gold. Immediately tower the TP being cancelled as well. The Queen of Pain is in the area, but PL meanwhile farming in the top lane while the rest of the team is pushing in this T2. And with the Beastmaster here, they're doing so much damage to it. They should be able to secure another T2. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, the Centaurana is pushing out. They're trying to get the Grimstroke once again, but the Charge just not being able to block him out too much here. And now TPing out. TPing out is the Gyrocopter going to go to the top lane, pick up that shrine, use it, and then start pushing back the wave that the PL has pushed out.
Thinking about going on Necroforce here, they do manage to go on Necroforce.
So meanwhile, TP is coming in the bot lane as well. Switch said they do want to fight. The Necroforce trying to TP here, but the Centaurana is there with the stun to cancel it, and now Necroforce getting caught out. Does have the wand as well as the hood. Pops another death pulse, but it's not going to be enough. But that is 5 heroes for just the Necroforce.
Yeah, Necroforce shouldn't have died there. They should have gotten back, made sure to get out together rather than the Gyrocopter TPing out and showing in the lane, which made sure that nobody was there to contest. It's just a small basic display coming out from Origin Unknown, showing on the map after the TP. If you do TP, like you don't want your you either get away together or you don't show in the lane after the TP if your teammates are still there, because then they know that he's alone.
Yeah, so in terms of boundary rounds, it's going to be 2 for 2. So looks like Origin Unknown picked up 2 and Lanka Lions picked up 2. But with that, looks like Origin Unknown's opting to play in the Lanka Lions jungle top side. You know, that seems to be the safest spot right now for them with all the vision that they have in that area. So they have a decent amount of information as well just to farm for the Gyro and the Beastmaster. But what do you think the timings are for both these teams, Abdul?
I think timing for Origin Unknown is when Gyrocopter gets a little bit stronger. He just doesn't do enough damage right now to win a team fight, I feel like. Maybe he can if they get the right targets, but it's not really secured. Maybe a BKB as well on the Gyro to finish the game, to go high ground, then you probably need a BKB for sure. But for now, I think they can fight for now.
So meanwhile, mid lane looks like they're smoked and they're converging onto the players here. Grimstroke is going to be leading the charge. They do have the finger ready on the Lion right now, but immediately looks like Queen of Pain opting to break the smoke, just wanting to go back and farm, pushing out this bot lane, trying to force some sort of reaction from both these teams. And looks like they do know where most of these players are, so they're just playing in the. You can see them just drawing and just showing exactly this is where they probably should be. Walid is drawing on that, and with that, looks like they'll be pushing into this top lane once again, just trying to force the issue. But the rest of Lanka Lions is already in the bot lane, but they're nowhere near as close as Origin Unknown is, and with this Beastmaster aura, they need to get back and start pressuring out this game.
Grimstroke is pretty nice to clear out waves, and they'll probably be able to defend this without taking too big of a fight, but they are going to try and fight without BKB right now. It might be a little bit hard for them if they do this. If Sender does get a little bit of a good initiate here, it might be too difficult. They might just get out here.
Yeah, they should probably get out here. So PL, everyone, all 5 being kind of forced back right now, so no one's really for farming. And with that, Lion also making his run there, and I think Center Warren picking up the pipe as well, so very early, making sure to mitigate most of that. And looks like they're going in for a smoke there, managing to get 4, not being able to get the Queen of Pain, unfortunately.
If they do connect, because if the Gyro shows bottom now and they do catch someone, it's going to be an easy fight for
Necrophos needs to be so careful right now. The smoke actually breaks, but he's going to be able to run away. Abdul, how unfortunate is that? They drop down a ward as well. Oh, they're going to actually use the Centaur ultimate as well. The Abaddon is around, but once again just trying to get the stuns, and more double stuns coming in, double fingers as well, and now double spirit lance. Abaddon pops the ulti and he's going to start healing up and going for more, and now Beastmaster getting caught out. The PL moving forward. The Tusk, can he do anything to try and save this Beastmaster? I don't think so. They're actually turning around onto the Tusk. Tusk taking so much damage. No mana anymore, but he actually managed to get one more snowball out, but with that they're chasing even past T2 towers. They haven't even taken the T1, and now the Gyrocopter using a call down as well, not really connecting onto anyone there, and still chasing the Tusk. The Tusk goes down, they lose the Necrophos, they lose the Tusk, and that is going to be quite the dive and a successful smoke.
Such a small mistake and so much punishment because of that. Gyrocopter showing in the bot lane is what set the entire thing up. And just as I told you before, this is the same mistake he did to make the Necrophos die before, and they're repeating the same mistake. So I think Indomitus are just going to, Lanka Lions are just going to keep abusing the fact that they don't understand when to show on the map in these games and when to not show on the map and how to get back together. They're just abusing the fact that they're missing, they're pushing and then they're not getting back together. The Gyrocopter is showing on the map to show that he's basically the one that wins them the team fight. And then they just go on everyone else, because the reach on Indomitus with the Centaur and the Grimstroke and the Peel especially is very big with the difficulty.
And especially with the Queen of Pain also just being able to blink in and slow them down as well. So they are really good at connecting to each other also, much more than Origin Unknowns can. But with that, so far the PL is doing a really good job. 9.6k in terms of net worth. He has picked up the Yasha, he's picked up the Diffuser. He's able to run at the Tusk, he's able to run at the Beastmaster right now without too much issue, because the call down didn't really connect. So because of that they can't really figure out which PL is the real one or even burst him down. So he needs at least a Drums, Agonyms plus BKB and even a Maelstrom after that as well. So there are so many items that the Gyrocopter still needs, and with that looks like they're trying to make a go onto the Stampede is available. Is there anyone coming to help him out? The Necrophos is coming in as well. The pipe is popped. He needs to use the call down, and here comes the Stampede as well. And he's going to be able to make it out. Well played. They're creating a little bit of space there on the Centaur Varana. Once again, the mid lane being pushed out. The Tusk playing very, very safe. Only level 9 right now, because Origin Unknowns does really like to play grouped up quite a bit. And with that, looks like PL starting to go to work on this T2, creating a little bit of illusions. he's going to go back to farming because he's super happy with where he is at right now. And just taking a look at Gyro, I wonder what he has picked up currently. Necroforce had that hood the last time we checked him as well. So looks like they're going for another high ground push here, trying to take the tower. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of movement. Then with that, Radiant actually lose their courier, the PL once again. He couldn't, yeah. So he couldn't do it as a Broodmother, but he can do it as PL. So that's something very interesting. And with that, looks like the Grimstroke just being annoying once again, just trying to go into the high ground once again. Moving forward, Necroforce needs to be careful, losing a decent amount of mana here. The Lions is standing on the high ground with that Aether Lens, just draining out a decent amount of mana once again from this Necroforce.
And PL is just farming, and like they're doing such a good job right now, making sure to, because they have so much deep push with the Centaur and the Grimstroke, even the Lion just being so annoying, and PL also pushing lanes. They're doing a very good job handling this game, even though they had a bad start. And of course, Origin Unknown's early game is what makes them strong. PL is going to be very strong late game, even against Gyrocopter, who can technically deal with the PL. Having dying, I mean, he needs quite a few items to actually deal with the PL, so there's a timing where PL gets hard, where Gyrocopter can't really kill his illusions. That timing is probably what Lanka Lions are going to use to kind of win the game. Yeah, now Lanka Lions closing in on a 6, they are already at a 6k goal lead, so closing in on that 10k goal lead as well, slowly but surely. PL picking up the Manta, and looks like Gyrocopter has opted to start building up into his Aghanim Scepter as well. He has picked up the point booster. The Necroforce has finished up his pipe. So he's going to be able to sustain a little bit more magic damage that's coming out from PnX.Lanka Lions with this Grimstroke Lion plus Queen of Pain combination that they do have, but Queen of Pain is obviously pure damage. Yeah, so she's caught up. Yeah, she's good. She gets the Lincolns, which I talked about before. Like I thought she didn't need BKB this game, just the Lincolns would have been fine, just to make sure the road doesn't hit her. And she does opt to go for the Lincolns, and I think that's gonna make her a lot more stronger in these fights. The Necroforce won't be able to ulti her. The Tusk won't really go on her, and Beastmaster also can't roar her, so then she's going to be kind of protected with that one item while the PL just goes in and goes on everyone.
Yeah, really, and if they don't really find a way to deal with this PL, if they don't get the damage that's necessary to kind of deal with this PL, it's going to be so difficult for Origin Unknowns, because the PL can just get on top of anyone and just start right clicking everyone and burning their mana, because including the Necroforce, right? The Necroforce didn't go in for that Radiance build, he went in for a more defensive pipe build to survive the combo coming in from Lanka Lions, which means he doesn't have that AoE, because Necroforce with Radiance, Heartbreaker Aura as well as Death Pulse, it's very difficult for PL with just the Manta and the Diffuser. So yeah, the illusions die really fast, but in this scenario right now, he just has the pipe of insight, so that makes it a little bit difficult for him to kind of deal with the PL illusions, which makes him very susceptible to the PL just getting on top of him. Once again, you can see the pings coming out from Beastmaster, just telling the Necroforce not to play so aggressively when there is no one there really to kind of save him. And even with the Abaddon and the Tusk, I don't think they have too much potential to try and save the Necroforce. Like we saw in multiple times, every time the Abaddon tries, he actually gets soulbound himself. What is it? Oh my god, going to immediately pop up the Ghost Shroud here. Is he going to commit? I hope not. And with that, the rest of the team actually shows up, forcing Lanka Lions to kind of back off. And with that, Centaur already there in the bot lane to push it out. Gyrocopter pushing out the top lane as well. The courier is still dead. Looks like it's a respawn for the side of the Radiant team. And now heading in to deliver the items that were on the courier when he died.
Yeah, I think that the one way Origin alone can win a proper fight is if they do get a good ultimate on the PL with the Necroforce. They need that Necroforce ult to kill the PL right now. Other than that, I don't think they have a really good option other than Roar, but Roar is very difficult to learn. Even the Necroforce.
Smoke coming in. Abaddon actually breaks it. See the Centaur. Are they going to go onto it? They wanted to go onto the PL. They're committing very awkwardly once again jumping in from the Tusk. Actually, 3-man Sonic Wave coming in with a combination with that finger. They actually lose the Gyrocopter very early, and even the Necroforce actually goes down, and suddenly everything looks really bad for Origin Unknown. Now chasing down this Grimstroke, trying to get that kill at least. The Beastmaster, or who is that? It actually looks like the Beastmaster is able to secure that kill, but they lose the Tusk as well. They lose the Beastmaster, and this should be a team vibe. It's only the Abaddon left. He's going for a TP in. Do they have anything to cancel it? No, they don't even need it. They have the damage. They actually lose every single player on the side of Origin Unknown. Just playing in a little bit of two minds right there.
No, just playing the fight super wrong. There's a reaction time coming from Origin Unknown in that fight was so bad. Gyrocopter was alone in that fight, just solo died to the PL there. If you look in the top lane, Gyrocopter just immediately falling there without BKB and with the help from Centaur. A good leash again coming from the Grimstroke to make sure that these two heroes can't really help him. Silence Abaddon, not able to help Gyrocopter. Beastmaster can't really do anything alone. Necroforce dead as well. All over.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate. I think just seeing the Centaur Warana, they wanted to go on the PL, but
unfortunate. They should have just reacted differently. The Gyro's positioning was bad. the Gyro just being way too far out, Abaddon not able to shield him, not close enough to shield him, and then after seeing the center one and the reaction coming out from the Tusk, it was very slow. He couldn't really get a snowball onto them, no snowball saves, and he just died there. Very unfortunate. This Grimstroke leash is doing so much against this Abaddon and Tusk. It just makes them so useless if they get a good leash off. And they were walking from low ground to high ground, which I felt like should have been more favored for Origin Unknown. Like right now, they should understand that their lineup isn't a very teamfight oriented lineup, unless they have a BKB Gyro. Because if they don't have BKB on Gyro, they're just going to focus him down, kill him off, and go on Necrophos after that. Because Necrophos didn't go the Radiant Spill like you said, he doesn't really do too much damage in the fight. So you can ignore him until you deal with the damage dealer, which is only the Gyrocopter right now, and then continue with the fight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's so many issues rising up for Origin Unknowns, and with all of this going on, Lanka Lions just seems to be scaling much better. I mean, even the PL at this moment, getting a few kills as well. You saw him just evaporating the Gyrocopter, getting stunned up by the Center Warana with that Stampede coming in as well. The leash keeping everyone in control, just being able to blink past everyone, get on top of the Gyro, take him out, and the Necrophos, like you said, is not really.
They didn't even cancel Center or blink. Like it was like the reaction time was just so slow coming out from Origin Unknown. They just didn't know what to do immediately when they saw that. They weren't expecting that, and they did fall there.
Yeah, they were setting up for the PL, but it seemed like, and then the Center wanted to line up to them, but even then, like,
so
long, yeah, exactly.
To even go on the PL. Maybe they didn't know which one was the real one immediately, which is pretty obvious because he's farming a camp. And he's just unfortunate. I mean, this Beastmaster pick is very suited for this game if they're pushing at 15 to 20 minutes with Beastmaster Roar onto PL, Beastmaster Roar onto Quap before they get these items. And now, as you can see, he is going the BKB now, which I think he should have got first, just because of the nature of their lineup. Like, usually want to go Scepter on Gyrocopter, but because they're like a pushing lineup with the Pipe and the Beastmaster and the Abaddon Tusk, you want to go this early build, go high ground. Like before, they could have gone high ground early if they had the BKB on Gyro, but instead he opted to go for the Abaddon Scepter, which isn't helping him at all now. And also without the Maelstrom, it doesn't really do too much for against the PL.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's something you always want to pick up against the PL, but you need items for that, and you need to have a much better start.
It's okay if you have a lineup that can deal with the mid game for you until you farm, but right now they just don't have that lineup. They want this push lineup, and they're not really utilizing it well. I think this Gyro is making quite a few mistakes.
And with that, looks like PnX.Lanka Lions going in for that Roshan, try and hit that nail on the coffin. It looks like PL has picked up that heart, so he's doing a decent amount of damage. He's actually soloing the Roshan at this point, and now the rest of the team coming in. They don't know which one is the real PL, though the rest of everyone else is set up on the high ground. PL immediately going to use a double ganger, once again going on to Necrophos, immediately nice double stun, double hex, double finger, and here comes the damage with that. Oh my god, they all evaporate, and now three of them actually got it going down, chasing down the Tusk as well. He's going to get taken down. Abaddon is going to be the last to get taken down. What a combination coming out from PnX.Lanka Lions. We didn't even see it all, so hopefully we'll be able to catch the replay on that and see just how much damage happened. We saw the ultimates coming out from the Queen of Pain, we saw the double finger, we saw the Spirit Lances, we saw the double edge, we saw the impales. There's so much happening in that few seconds there, but really great coordination coming out from Lanka Lions. And I think
the way they approached the pit was just wrong. And also they should know that at this point, after losing that fight, they know that
yeah, so here's the replay. Let's take a look at it. Once again, just going in, and looks like the Beastmaster and the Necrophos gets buy-in immediately. And here comes the three-man Sonic Wave into the finger, impale into the double edge, just bursting down three of those cores almost immediately, leaving just the two supposed to try and make a run for it. And meanwhile, in the live game, looks like Center Warner getting caught out near the base here, getting roared as well. So he might go down, he might fall low, he actually gets Reaper's Sight, and once again Walid just making Walid plays.
Yeah, I mean that was okay. He made some space for Roshan to be taken down.
And he did a decent amount of damage on the tower as well.
Yeah, that's okay. It's like right now it's not too big of a deal, but it would have been nice if he didn't die because they can just turn it into a push. But anyway, they're going to start pushing the top lane. They don't need to go immediately. They might go immediately though.
Oh, and Nullifier being picked up on the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, it's very good.
So with the Grimstroke...
oh wait, they might have a fight now.
Oh yes, they actually find the Abaddon here. He's going to immediately use that borrowed time and just start TPing back to base, and this Abaddon is just suffering. He's just trying to buy a lot of this direction right now. This only has brown boots.
Yeah, everyone's just going to get back and push out the lanes. Make sure the lanes, they don't get a cheapy Rex here on Origin Unknown. Make sure the lanes are pushed out. Torbo's going to do that. PL making sure to farm the enemy jungle to make sure that they don't have any sort of comeback. Don't give them any farm. He knows he's strong enough to survive almost everything other than Necrophos ulti right now. So he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he has the ages as well, so they should be seeing him kind of rotating. So Gyrocopter needs
Gyrocopter needs to be super careful right now. I think Paradox is going to immediately zip line towards him if he does show in the lane, but he didn't show in the lane, so it's going to be okay.
Yeah, with that, looks like they're going to back off and try to make a play here, but the rest of the team has kind of gathered around the PL right now, and he needs to see it, okay, he saw it. Please, the Gyrocopter right now is not in the best spot, so it's a night time. Once again, just going in for these boundary runs, it become daytime right now. They're on the high ground and the PL is actually going to start running in. Do they know which one is real though? Looks like they're starting to chase down the Gyrocopter once again, getting the nice soulbound here into the silence here. Do they have the follow-up on the Winger? They do, and he actually gets taken down, bursted down for 53 seconds. Tusk goes down almost immediately 53 seconds. Now Beastmaster with no mana whatsoever gets the row off onto the Grimstroke, but it's not going to do anything, and now the Queen of Pen comes in and hitting the rest of the three with the pure damage, and he actually goes down. Abaddon as well. It's only going to be the Necroforce. The BKB is popped, but he goes down. It's going to be Toad Boss, godlike, and now PL just way too strong for them to deal with, and looks like that's all she wrote, and PnX.Lanka Lions should be claiming their first set of racks right here.
Yeah, very good fight coming from Lanka Lions. Just, I think they're playing way too aggressive on Anju, and they don't understand the strength of their lineup right now. They think they're a bit too strong right now. The leash is countering them so hard in this game, and they keep getting caught there and they keep dying. I think that's just all. That's all that's happening.
Yeah, there's literally nothing that they're doing. I mean, the Necroforce has fucked BKB, he's trying to chase this Lion. The Lion really not even doing anything, he's not even dying. He's already used all his spells with the Aether Lens that is getting chased down. And look at the way the Necroforce just dies so fast when he doesn't have that Ghost Shroud. And so far, things just not looking too great for x3.Origin. Yeah, I think if they can just keep taking this the fights over and over again. Once again, Abaddon getting in a very bad position, having to pop that burrow time. They're not going to commit and chase. Nice 3-man stun coming in from the center. 3-man impale as well with another soulbind coming in. Now these heroes, they all bought back. Actually, Abaddon buying back once again into the fight. The Beastmaster falling so low. He's going to get taken down. He's out for 51 seconds. He buys back almost immediately. And now the call down is there with the BKB Gyrocopter going to work with that Flak Cannon and Agni Inceptor. But Paradox is godlike right now. He's running in. He still has the edges. Once again, Nullify and Diffusal onto the Beastmaster. Die back onto him. And now 2-man stun once again from the Lion. But the Lion actually gets taken down by the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter gets taken down. Abaddon goes down. No buybacks. GGWP. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Ultra kill for the side of PnX.Lanka Lions. Paradox right there. It's all over. And we have IESF Sri Lankan qualifier grand final winners here for Dota 2. And it's going to be PnX.Lanka Lions.
Yeah, it was a really good game.
Yeah, definitely super intense game, especially in that early bit. But before we get into that, we're going to be heading into a very short break. And once we get back, we'll be kind of breaking down the game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, where we have just concluded the IESF Dota 2 Sri Lankan qualifier grand finals here. PnX.Lanka Lions coming out on top 2-1 against Origin Unknowns in that game. So Abdul, what do you think was the turning point for the game in general?
So there were two instances, I think, where maybe three reasons why they lost that game. I feel like, which are the most important rather than the reaction time and the smoke ganks and all that. I think the two big issues were when after they pushed and were getting back, the Gyrocopter TP'd out and showed in the lane that he was pushing, whereas while his team was still in the jungle, either farming or something. That's how the Necroforce died the first time, and then they made the second mistake again when they were pushing the top lane. Once they realized that they needed a BKB to go high ground, then they started getting back. The Gyrocopter TP'd to the bot lane, and then the team got caught out, and those were two big turning points for the game to tilt in the favor of Lanka Lions, and also the fact that Gyrocopter went for BKB. I went for Agni Inceptor instead of a BKB. Maybe should have gone Maelstrom BKB because that's a little bit of cheaper item to go on Maelstrom, and may help you farm faster, get BKB after that, and then go high ground. Would have been a lot better. I think It might have helped them take down the PL also a little bit better because of the Maelstrom. But just giving PL so many kills got him to Heart, and then after he gets Heart, Gyrocopter can't really do anything, especially when he has such little farm. Without the Maelstrom, still with the BKB Scepter still doesn't do anything to PL. So that was just it, I think, after that.
Yeah, I mean, they had some good momentum going their way, especially with the bot lane, you know, Gyrocopter getting a few kills here and there and just being able to bully the Centaur Warana. Even the Necroforce actually doing quite well against the Queen of Pain, getting that solo kill as well, you know, with the Reaper side. But just, I think itemization was a very huge deal in this game, like we said, because they didn't really have, the Beastmaster is not the best at dealing with PL unless like he's super weak, unless, you know, you got like throw an axe and try to deal with illusions, but that's not going to happen in this game. So they needed something more. Like you said, if he had the BKB, they can't really focus down the gyro, which means he can use his call down, he can use his flat cannon, he gets all those skills off, which gives them the opportunity to kind of scare the PL away at least, and gives them a chance to kind of, you know, actually take a fight.
No, you can probably kill the PL, because at the time that they were pushing high ground, PL didn't have the Heart.
Yeah, he had no, not even Mantis.
Yeah,
He had Yasha Diffuser,
Yeah.
yes, with
maybe he had, I think he had the Ultimate Orb, which makes him quite a bit more tankier. But
yeah.
even with the Ultimate Orb, like let's say you don't kill the PL, but you take a better fight, you maybe get a few kills.
Yeah, definitely. You get a few kills, you know, you kind of...
Make sure the Necroforce doesn't die immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the biggest
and
point.
I felt like, you know, the Necroforce, even though it had a really good laning stage, like in terms of, you know, how he played, got caught out obviously, and that was also due to a few information revelations, sorry, excuse me, something's happening with my voice, but, you know, information revelations that actually happened during the game, which you actually spoke on. But I feel like, you know, maybe even if it was a little bit late, even if it was like 20 minutes, 21 minutes, picking up the Radiance is just a huge deal in this game. And I don't think he was having such a bad game that he needed to pick up the pipe first. I think they were just...
basically have to go high ground.
Yeah, I think it was just they wanted to group up very early, and they did that really well. But then every time they kind of left to go and push out the rest of the lanes, then that was where the issue came up, where, like you said twice.
Like I said, and then also he realized he needed BKB as soon as they went to the high ground. Like he was like, oh, we can't really stay here. We're gonna get leashed into stunned into ulti, and I can't stand on the high ground and right click it. So we need to get BKB, we need to take a fight, and then we take Roshan, we need to go high ground. That would have been the ideal play, but unfortunately it didn't turn out.
Yeah. So with that, congratulations to PnX.Lanka Lions. So they will be representing Sri Lanka at the 11th Esports World Championship in Korea. So congratulations to them and all the best. So hopefully they make our country proud for sure, representing us here, all our Dota 2 playing our community here. And with that, obviously, that is going to be it for the stream, guys. Thank you so much for joining with us, and we'll be having more Dota action when it comes your way. So thank you so much. This is going to be me, Darkro, and Abdul Nightblade signing out.
See you.